That is last week in Rugby League well and truly covered. Let's take a look now into the future as we bring our predictions for round 8 of the Super 8s. Okay, so to previews then, of course, it's not round 8 of the Super 8s, it's round 6 of the Super 8s, silly me. But we start on Thursday evening as Hull FC take on Wakefield. It's televised, this one. Mark and Liam Watts will be available to play for Hull FC, and I think Wakefield, whilst they will want to try and fix up that kind of lack of attacking prowess that they showed against Saints, I don't think they're going to be able to do it against Hull. I think this might be the end of the road for them. Hull 14 points, I reckon. 20 points to 14 in favour of Hull.
Gareth Ellis is also back, so even if Minicello misses out for injury,
more than able deputy then.
There's kind of like a bit of progression there. I'm not sure what the situation is going to be in the outside backs, but for Hull, but I don't think that's where the game's going to be won all in terms of the centres not being the first choices. But I don't think that's going to win or lose this game for them. Wakefield have put their really good run of form largely down to really good play by the forwards, but they're coming up against Taylor and Watts. I don't think they get over the top of Taylor and Watts, and I don't think they'll have enough, therefore, to beat this side. 26-16 Hull FC out. That's why I think it'll happen. Okay,
on Friday evening then, Leeds take on Salford down at Headingley. What do you reckon?
I think this is a curious one.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think you're windmilling.
Well,
go on.
Obviously, Leeds won't have the same sort of vociferous support. Kind of pointless game for them because the season's already in the bag. Whereas Salford need this win and return to some sort of attacking way of playing. Whereas Leeds, I don't know, maybe that sort of defensive lapse kind of might hang over another week before they get a real reality check going into the semis. I actually think Salford could win this one. I think it could be high scoring, but I think Salford, if their attack's right again, they could win this one. So I've got 38-30 in favour of the visiting Salford Red Devils.
38-30. I think it's going to be 36 points to 12. Relatively comfortable for Leeds. Yes, Salford got a good result against a side that have got nothing else to play for, but I think Salford now really at the bleeding edge of their capabilities in terms of that squad. I think
it was last chance saloon for Huddersfield. They could still have snuck in.
Who are you trying to convince now?
Everyone's got a better points difference than Salford than Hull, so they could have sneaked in.
Who are you trying to convince? I think it's done now, really, because, and I think it'll be definitely done after this weekend. I think Brian Mack is going to have Leeds up and fired for this and responding well and sending out a message. So I think 36 points to 12 in favour of Leeds. Meanwhile, at the same time, St Helens will be taking on the Huddersfield Giants. Mark, what have you got? 30 points to 12 in favour of Huddersfield.
This was a really tough one to call. If Huddersfield had won last week, they would have still been in that little bit of a slimmer of chance, and also it would have suggested they're continuing the sort of form they've generally been in the eights. But they didn't, and that suggests to me that their race is probably run. I think St Helens don't score a ton of points, but will have enough to score maybe 4 or 5 tries this week.
Right.
So I've got them winning 28 points to 20 with Jermaine McGillivray scoring at least 1 try though for Huddersfield.
Well, I've got an 8-point winning margin, but I see there being less tries, but I still think Saints are going to win. 18 points to 10 I've gone for. Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock though, nice and traditional. I like to see this. Your Wigan Warriors take on Castleford, and Mark, I feel like Wigan might be able to get a win in this one. I just feel like they're going to be buoyed by their performance against Hull. Castleford now, maybe they mentally take a step back from things with the injuries that have come along, and maybe they rotate a little bit in the forwards. I just fancy Wigan for a bit of a minor upset.
Let's not forget Castleford have also had their end of season awards this week, so their season's finished. So this isn't an important game for them,
exactly,
because their season's already finished.
Win for the Warriors, eh?
So 32-22 in favour of the Wigan Warriors. I actually do think the injuries will be a significant factor.
Yeah, I do,
and I also think like you say, there might be a bit of rotation and stuff, and I'm not sure that rotation's actually having the intended effect so far.
Well,
because I think some of the other players maybe just aren't doing as good. People, like Springer and Patrick and people like that, and Leroy and people like that, they're just probably not at the calibre of the first.
I think Darryl Powell's legislating for that. To be honest, I think he's thinking, well, we might lose these games, but what's the net gain?
Oh,
what's the long? Do you know what's the long view?
I appreciate that, and if they're really taking a long view, this is the weird situation they're in now. Do they want to make sure they definitely don't have to host Wigan at home, or do they think, shit, pull it out here, and then we won't be playing Hull at home, and that's... But they still might play Hull at home, depending on what goes on in the last week, because Hull's points difference is pretty shoddy.
I think you just play whoever you get.
I think they just play and Wigan win anyway for me.
There you go. Okay, in the qualifiers then, on Friday evening, Leigh take on Halifax. I've got the Centurions winning this 40 points to 10. Should be relatively simple for Fax. Gone are the days of this being a big ding-dong in the Championship.
The biggest disappointment is that the old war horses on the pitch that would have caused the ruckuses in days gone by. I don't think Leigh will win by as much as you. I've got them winning 20 points to 16. I think Fax, will have a good show in here, but they won't quite be good enough to beat an underwhelming Leigh Centurions side.
Yeah. Okay, so at the same time at 8 p.m. on Friday evening, Hull KR take on the Catalan Dragons. Now, I did wonder whether or not Hull KR might be suffering a bit of a hangover, but I don't think Tim Sheens will give them a week off, and I think Catalan are pretty atrocious and won't fancy a Friday night flight up to East Hull to face a buoyant Hull KR. I reckon KR want to have a say in who goes down, so I think they're going to win 26 points to 12.
I think Catalan are going to win. I don't think it's going to be entertaining. I didn't see enough high quality from Hull KR in the game last week to convince me that they're a really good side. I think they're just way better than the teams who've played all year and had enough positive momentum and enough decent performances to get through these, and the right order of fixtures to get through these qualifiers. I think Catalan will win this one, 28-14.
Okay, Widnes Vikings take on London on Saturday afternoon on Sky up in the Select Security Stadium. Can London come up and get a result?
Well, one thing in London's favour that often gets cited as a negative for visiting teams to the Select Security is they also play on a plastic pitch down at the Ealing Trailfinders. So that, the way the ball bounces a bit curiously and that sort of stuff, shouldn't come as too big a surprise. Now, seeing white lines rather than blue lines might be problematic for them to adjust to for a while, but I'm sure they'll get over that shock. And I actually have the Broncos winning this one.
Really?
As much because I know they can score tries. I don't know Widnes can score a lot of tries with the injuries they've got. And it's all about the injuries. It's not about the quality of the coaching or the desire of the players. It's all about the resources at hand, and I don't think they've got enough attacking resources at hand in that Vikings side. I'm going to go with a London win, 36 points to 26.
I've gone for a low-scoring turgid affair where Widnes come out on top, 18 points to 12. Okay, final game of the weekend then sees Featherstone.
Do you not think the game last week might have taken a little bit out of Widnes physically and emotionally, because they put a lot of effort into that game and got nothing out of it?
Mark, if I was a gambling man, I was building my accumulator to go and win some money, I would probably bet on London. But I'm just being a bit. I just think Widnes have got it in them.
Well, they're almost definitely favourites. So if you were doing an accumulator, I think it'd be a strange choice to.
No, what I mean is, if I was a gambling man, I would bet on London because you'd get more from it.
Okay.
But I'm not a gambling man, and I think Widnes are going to win. Plus, I've got the tipping thing to win. Featherstone take on Warrington Wolves in the final game of the weekend, mate. I take it you're tipping for Fev then.
Well, why would I pick for that when I don't think it can happen? I think Warrington are going to win 30 points to 10, and I think it's going to be pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I also think it's straightforward.
I don't understand what the suggestion is.
I couldn't possibly say, but if anyone's been paying attention, I've picked Wigan to win 19 points to 18 for about the last 4 weeks. Okay, I think Warrington are going to win by 28 points to 12. Relatively simple for them. Neither side particularly impressive. Warrington less so, despite their victory. Championship game of the week, mate. What have you got for us?
Batley versus Sheffield, only because there's no games of any importance really now in that division, with unless ridiculous miracles occur for Oldham. And these two sides are going to be playing each other in the Shield semi-finals, so it's a nice, tasty appetiser to that.
Whet the appetite. League One games of the week. What have you got for us?
Well, in the Super 8s, you've got to pick 2 games because it's the last round and there's a lot riding on it. And we talked about Toronto hosting Doncaster, so Doncaster have a very tough road trip. Maybe there's a bit of a party that's already occurred that they can get off the back of, similar to Catalan at Hutt. But if that doesn't happen for them, York are hosting Newcastle, so Newcastle have a tough away trip, and Barrow are hosting Keighley, so Keighley have a tough away trip. They are 3 tough fixtures to pick, but are decisive in who's going to get that final promotion playoff semi-final spot. And if Keighley can beat Barrow, that puts a marker down for the semi-finals too, which is interesting.
It does indeed. Right.
In the Shield.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I think
Hunslet versus Scholars, because the winner of that hosts the other in the Shield final the week after.
There you go. Okay. Well, that is the world of rugby league. Well and truly covered. All that remains for us to do now is wrap up the show. Right, so we're coming to the end of episode 159 of the Super League pods. I think you gave it me a bit easy last week with the higher or lower, so I assume you've come back with an absolute vengeance. 10:30 on Tuesday night. What have you got for us, Mark, in the quiz?
Well, following the news that Luke Gale will win the Albert Goldthorpe award for the 3rd straight year, and a new record, that the 3 straight years thing, in the 10th year of League Express awarding this trophy. This week's quiz is based on the history of the award.
Ah, fantastic. I can hardly wait. Go on then.
Don't worry, I'm not asking you about who Albert Goldthorpe was and what his
I remember reading that somewhere.
Remarkable achievement.
I remember reading that somewhere.
He was the captain of the first side to win all 4 cups. The Yorkshire Cups and then the Challenge Cup and the...
Right.
Yeah. And all that.
That does sound familiar. It's been a while
back in
18 odd
1907 or 8. I can't remember.
7 or
8.
8.
But that's not what it's about, Tom.
Okay, well,
I'm not going to give you many clues this week.
No, I suspect
I've got 5 questions for you.
Oh God! Right, go on.
Okay, who else other than Luke Gale has won this award 3 times in its history?
It's 10-year history.
It's 10-year history.
Okay, let's think.
No cheating at home.
No, I'm not cheating. I'm not
I mean at home. Listening along.
I'm trying to work it out because it predominantly favours half-backs, doesn't it? This one. Matty Smith.
No.
Okay.
Sadly, you were wrong.
Do you
want to have another stab, or shall we just give you the answer at the end?
Well, you're going to give us any clues? Normally you give me clues.
Yeah, but I gave you higher or lower last week.
So no clues this week.
And one of the people was Liam Colvin. So that was 2 points for free.
Yeah, okay. Let me have another think.
Well, obviously...
Danny Maguire.
Obviously he hasn't won it in consecutive years.
Yeah, Danny Maguire.
No.
Alright, go on then. Who is it?
I'll tell you at the end.
Alright, go on then.
Question 2. Which club is the only club to have more than one player win the award?
Leeds Rhinos.
No.
Warrington Wolves.
Have a slow down.
Alright.
Have a think. This one's pretty easy compared to the...
Well, I thought the answer was pretty good. Wigan.
No.
Right, okay.
I'll tell you the answer at the end then,
Right.
Unless you want one more guess.
St Helens.
No.
Right. Come on, Dragons!
I'm pretty sure you mentioned the first 4 teams you mentioned then have never had a winner of the award.
Oh, for God's sake.
Possibly never had a winner of the award. Okay. 2 things were unique about the award in 2010.
Okay.
One of them was that it had joint winners.
Right.
What was the other unique thing about the award in 2010?
They played for the same team.
Well, okay,